How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back on another video. We got the grill painted, and I've been wanting to take it outside and fire it up. But I'm telling you, here in southwestern PA, we have not been having very good weather for a while. It's actually really wet, and it's soaking wet out there. It's been sprinkling all day. And I know everybody's anxious to see this thing fired up, and so am I. It's super heavy for me to move it in and out. But I have a few more little things I'd like to do to it. I know we painted it, but it doesn't matter. We still got more paint. I'm going to work on the air intake for the bottom of this, and then I'm gonna work on these handles. Some people said you thought maybe the handles were too long. I'm thinking maybe I can fix that handle problem, and I thought we'd do a video on that today. And I'll try my best to get this thing outside and get it fired up as soon as the weather clears up a little bit. We wouldn't want our food getting all wet or nothing like that if it starts raining. So guys, just be patient with me and we'll get this thing fired up as soon as we can. So let's get to working on the air vent on the bottom. I think that air is actually going to be pretty good on the bottom. It did fire up okay the last time I fired it up, but I think it could have used a little more air, and that's why I cut the hole in the bottom. And I had a lot of people actually said that you might want air going up through the bottom. So we're going to work on that today, and we're going to work on the two handles. So let's get to it. I just wanted to give you guys a little look at it painted up. And like I said, I'm going to do some grinding and cutting, but I don't think we'll have any problem, just touching it back up with some paint. The majority of it's done, but the thing looks awesome. I'm thinking it's going to cook as good as it looks. I'm pretty sure. So we're going to get that thing all tore back down, and we're going to start working on the pieces for the air intake on the bottom first. Alright, this is the pipe we're going to use for the air intake on the bottom. This is a piece of 2-inch, inside diameter 2-inch piece of pipe. And we're going to be mounting this piece to the bottom of the cooker, the tube, the pedestal that's actually holding it up. So we're going to go ahead and get a piece of this cut, and I'll show you where it's going to go. Alright, if you've been following my videos, you know we cut this hole in the bottom for air. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually cut that a little bit bigger, about 2 inches round, and then that's where we're going to attach our air vent to this cooker. Alright, as you can see, our hole is going to be much bigger than that hole right there. It's actually going to be about 3 times, maybe even 4 times bigger than that by the time we're done. Now we're gonna start on making our little door that's actually going to open and close the air vent. So we're gonna trace this. This is a piece of that pipe I cut off so I could clean it up a little bit. And then we're gonna cut this out, and we're gonna leave a little bump right here so we could drill a hole through this and put our bolt through here so we can twist this thing and open and close it. Alright, we got our 4-inch piece of pipe we're going to be using for the air. I'm just cleaning up the outside edge of it. So that's our 4-inch piece. It's about 4 inches long. That's what's going to go out of the side of the tank. Let me show you. Okay, this is the piece that's going to come out. See, it's going to come out sort of like that. And then you'll have your little air draft thing right here. You can twist and open it up for more air in or less air, whatever you want. I think this is going to work. The only problem I can see is I know this thing eventually is going to get filled up full of ash, and we're going to have to move it and get the ash out of there. But I think it would take a long time for that to fill up full of wood ash, especially with the tiny little holes in there. Alright, we're going to drill our little hole in this piece here. This is to open and close our air. This is where the bolt's going to go through. Alright, this is how this is going to work. What we'll do is we already put it in there just like that. We'll snug it down on there. Make sure it's snug. And then what we'll do is we'll weld that nut on both sides. And it should be on there just perfect where we need it. Alright, now all we have to do now is lay our plate down on here. And I have a spring that I'm going to slide over this bolt. And we're going to stick the bolt down in the hole. And we'll probably use a little bit of Loctite or something like that on the back side of it. And that spring will actually hold that back against there. But now what I'll do, I'm going to look for a little stronger spring. I gotta have some stronger ones here somewhere. Let me look for a better spring. Alright, I found a little better spring. This is a little bit tougher, a little bigger round, so I just put a washer on there. I think that's going to work out okay. And what I might do is just take the welder and just tack it right there. Just a tiny little tack. And then if I ever need to take it off, I can just grind that tack off. That way I don't have to worry about it coming loose. Now we have to put a little knob on here to be able to turn it. So we'll get the knob ready, we'll tack that and put our little knob on here to be able to open and close it. And then we'll get it welded on our cooker. Okay, our air vent is ready to be welded in. We're going to go ahead and get this guy welded in here, and then we'll have this part finished. And then we'll get started on the other piece. Okay, here's our air draft. Open it and close it. You got a nice little handle on it, and it's getting tight. So I don't think we'll have any problem with that. We'll get that cleaned up, and that'll be it for this piece. All right, here's that air vent all finished up now. I think it looks pretty daggone good. And you can, like I said, this thing's spring loaded, so you can open it, close it, and I think that's going to help out a lot with giving that more air to go underneath. So I want you guys to know I do hear all of your comments, and one person said to put this on, and one person said to cut a hole and put more air in it. So I appreciate all them comments. So we're going to move this thing back down to the floor, which it's getting a little bit heavier. And I am going to leave, I'm not going to drill any more or cut any more holes up in the top here. I'm not going to cut any more holes in there because I didn't want a lot of ash down in there. I'm hoping just I pretty much get air coming out of there, not a lot of ash. All right, so I've had a lot of talk about the handles being too long. So I think I know how I can do this. And I'll make a tool that'll actually take the handle or take these up and down, move them. I think I can make one, and I could probably just make most of it out of the spare stock that I have here that's already here. So I'm going to try to make a handle that we can take on and off to get it out of the way. And use it to lift these up and down, but actually have these cut off a little bit more so they're not sticking out just quite as far. So let's get started on that. What we're going to do is we're going to measure this one up and we're going to cut it off, and we'll measure this one the same distance and cut it off, and we'll have them both cut, and then we'll work on the tool that we use to raise and lower the racks. I'm thinking about 2 inches on that, so we're going to cut it off right there, right at the end here, and we'll do the one on the bottom the same way, about 2 inches. Okay, we have no choice but to make a new handle now. So what I'm thinking is that I could actually use the piece that was off of here that could be slid on here and push down on it and lift it up and down. But now when I put this same piece on the bottom here, if I put it on there, I'm going to have something to go underneath of here to keep that from twisting, because when I pick that up, it's not going to keep it from twisting. So we're going to work on that piece right there. This is fine and dandy, it's going to work fine. This will be okay for this because we can push down on it, raise it and lower it however we want. I think that's going to work okay. But like I said, we got to do something about this one down here, because when we pick that up, let's take this one off. I'll give you guys a little better view of it. When we pick this up, let's say it was hot and we wanted to lift it up. I don't know, that might just work just like that. I mean, as long as I really don't plan on moving this up and down while there's food on it, but I might move it while it's hot. And you know, if it's hot, you want to definitely be able to maneuver it up and down. So that might work just like that. So, but the other side of this handle, I wanted to make sure that I could use this. I wanted to make a tool on the other side to take the lid off the Dutch oven. So we'll work on that. Alright, here's what I did. I took that piece, this big piece, and cut the end off where the weld is, and stuck the small piece inside of it and welded it. So now this piece on this end is where we're going to make the hook to take our lid off of our Dutch oven. I think that'll work. Okay, now I took the other end of the handle and I just welded this little thing on the end here, this little piece here, and we got a little bit of a hook on there, and that's so we can take our lid off of our Dutch oven and we can set it down off to the side, and I think that's going to make a pretty good tool. It's not perfect, but it's homemade, so, and I think that'll be nice for taking the lid off. I'm not sure if I could move the skillet with this or not, but I may do some modifications to this later so we can actually pick a skillet up with it too. But I think that's going to work out pretty good for taking the lid off. And then we can use this end over here to lift our oven up and down. So I think this will work out pretty good. Because those lids are going to be hot and you want something to be able to get the lid off with. Okay, we're going to work on a little holder for our tool so we can put it on our cooker. Put that little holder right down here in the bottom, right there, and that's just to hold our handle when we're storing it, because I don't know how hot the handle will get being that close to the cooker. It might get pretty hot. I don't figure this will get hot down here, but I'm pretty sure this being that close to that heat, it's going to get really hot up here. So maybe we'll just take it off when we're cooking and set it somewhere. And then when we store it away, we'll just put it back in our little holder there. That way it'll be there the next time we want to use the cooker. So I got to get that touched up, painted down there. I think this is going to work out pretty good. Alright, in this video we got the handles chopped off. Now we don't have to worry about kids running around it or something like that, or somebody bumping into it and knocking our hot dogs and stuff off. I think this is going to work out good. We made the tool that we could use to stick on either or these and still be able to work our thing back and forth, our grate. And the same way with our Dutch oven, we'll be able to lift it up and down. We got a good long handle for leverage. I think that's going to work out pretty good. Now I put the bracket on the bottom down there, and that bracket is pretty close to the cooker. So what I want to do is take this out when I start cooking, and then when I'm done cooking, just stick it back down in the slot and we'll know where it's at. It should set up pretty good there. Now the air, little draft for the air that we put on the bottom here that opens and closes, I think that's going to work out really good. It did burn okay the last time I burned it, but I think it'll burn better with that air in the bottom. And I appreciate all the comments you guys leave. Somebody said put a thing where I can open and close it, and somebody said put air in it. So we did them both. I think that worked out pretty good. And if we find out we need more air, we can drill some more holes in the bottom. But we can't forget, we're going to have to empty the ash out of there after so long of using it. When we see it's getting up close to the damper or to the hole here where our draft is, we'll just have to take it and pull it up, take all the ash out and put it back down. I think it'd take a very long time for this to fill up full of ash. So I'm going to leave a link in the description down below for the paint, the Rust-Oleum heat resistant paint. Now, you don't have to buy the paint. I've been leaving the Amazon associate, because I'm an Amazon associate, I'm leaving the links down there so you guys can buy things from Amazon from that link. You don't have to buy the paint. Anything you buy on qualifying purchases, I get a small commission off of it, which helps me out. And I do appreciate it, and it doesn't cost you any more. So if you guys want to buy from Amazon from my link, I do appreciate it. So I do apologize for not being able to get this thing out and get it cooking, but the weather is just not very nice right here in southwestern PA, and I'd like for it to do it on the weekend, is throw some good food on here and get it cooked, but the weather is not cooperating with me. So I figured we'd do this video, get these chopped out. I wanted to do this anyhow, so we got it finished. I think it looks good. And the next really nice day I get, we're going to get this thing set up and we're going to do some cooking in it. So I would like to tell everybody, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.